take a second to have you think back to December. It's, in Seattle at least, dark and rainy. We just finished up a record-setting season with incredible Black Friday. Our entire team rallied together, the entire company, to try to get so many shipments out within the first week after Black Friday. Incredible experience. I think we sent more sports cards from our warehouse than any building has ever sent in 1 week. Then, the week's wrapping up, get a chance to take a breath. We're going into the holiday season, planning to take a little bit of time off, prepare for the next year, another challenging year. We've got a plan set out for the next year. You get a phone call. It's from the owner of our closest business relationship. Interesting phone call. At the end of the phone call, the bomb drops. For the next 30 minutes, I'm as white as a sheet, trying to figure out what just happened, what's the next move, where do I go from here? By the end of the day, I've never been so excited about the future of our company, the opportunities that we have. The challenges are immense, but we are free now to do so many things that we've wanted to do. But in order to be a good business partner, in order to not step on the toes of other companies that we're trying to help foster, try to help create a good, healthy ecosystem for the sports collecting industry, we kind of stayed away from certain things. I'm here to share with you our exciting future. I'm Tim Getsch, founder and CEO of COMC.com. We're pioneering online consignment. Out of curiosity, how many people here have used our service? Oh my goodness, that's awesome, that's awesome. All those people with their hands raised, you can talk to them about their experience with the service. I'm not here to pitch the service. I'm going to tell you some of the stuff that we're doing. But our goal, we actually don't have any sales force. We try to make our service so good that the people using the service want to tell people about it. And if you guys aren't happy using our service, then we want to invest in improving that. So feel free to chat with anybody here that's used our service and ask for their honest opinions. All right, what was I referring to? The first piece that I want to talk about today is our new catalog and price suggestions. It's actually an incredible opportunity. I'm so excited that we get to do this. I mentioned before that we intentionally stayed away from this space. But this is something I've been passionate about since the first day I got a pack of cards. And I saw a guide that told me about the value of a card. I was 8 years old looking at these cards. I started creating graphs, tracking Robin Yount and George Brett rookie cards, seeing how they were trending over time. I went on to get my bachelor's in math, my master's in computer science. I spent 10 years at Microsoft, and then I came back to my childhood passion, this industry, to build some tools that they're missing. I just built something that I wanted, something that I needed in order to collect. It was just really inefficient. And it turns out I wasn't the only one that needed this. Well, this guide, this price suggestion system is something I've always thought there could be a better system out there, but I didn't want to step on any toes. I was invited to replace our existing catalog and existing price guide with something that we create in-house. So I'm going to talk to you about what our goals are, what our requirements, how we're going to go about doing this, and then I'm going to wrap it up with a tie back to what I introduced last year at the summit. Okay, first off, the guide and the catalog. We have to build this from scratch, completely from scratch. It's incredibly important that all the customers that have entrusted their items to us know that our company is solid, that they do not have to worry about any risks that might be taken. So we are, from the bottom up, building a completely new catalog that gives us freedom to do whatever we think is most appropriate. We can put the data anywhere we deem appropriate for those items, so we can expose people's items on more than just the few places that we were allowed to before. The guide and the catalog need to be relevant and accurate. This is something that's been really frustrating. We needed, so many customers that are using our service rely on the guide in order to help them price their items. And if the guide is off, our customers aren't getting the right price for their items, or they're pricing their items too high and it's not selling. So we need something that's tuned to our marketplace that lets people know what things are actually selling for. And it needs to be accurate because people are relying on us to do this for them, so we need to make sure that they have the best data possible. And finally, this has to be designed for you. Everything that we do is for you. You are us. We are collectors. We're all in this together. We want to make sure that what we're building is something that meets your needs so that it's something that we all benefit from. Our goal specifically on the catalog front, it needs to be complete. Complete, I'm defining as anything that someone wants to buy, sell, or trade, we're going to include in the catalog. We're actually also going to include things that are technically illegal to buy or sell, things that were illegally made. We're going to keep them in the catalog just so that we can know these are not supposed to be sold online. So if someone sends them to us, we know what it is. It's in the catalog as something you shouldn't try to buy, sell, or trade. It needs to be exhaustive. We want to make sure that it's not just a simple set name and description. It has rich data. We know the jersey that's worn in the picture. We know if it's a rookie year card that's in a college jersey, which college jersey is visible. Not just the team that drafted, but what jersey is actually visible in the card. We want to know down the road even more detailed information like cameos. Who's in the background of the card? What teams were they playing? If it's a memorabilia card, what type of memorabilia? There's a lot of rich data that's in the card that nobody's really collected before, but with our scans, we can actually go get that data. And it needs to be accurate. I mentioned this before. We are investing heavily in building this, and it's something that we use all the time, so we're going to continually invest in making it more and more accurate. If we see mistakes, we'll fix them as quickly as we can. And how is it possible? This just started in December, a couple months ago. How could we do this when it's taken years and years for other people to compile the data? It starts with our 14 million scans. Yes, we have scanned more items likely than everybody else, arguably combined. No one's come anywhere near this. This repository is an incredible asset to help us go build the catalog. We have a huge crowd of loyal fans, thousands of people willing to contribute to this effort, and we've chosen to divide and conquer. We've taken the parts of the catalog that you can tell simply by looking at the card, and we've created a set of challenges that people can partake in. We show them a series of images, and they answer simple questions. What's the team that's represented on the card? What are the first two letters of the first name and first two letters of the last name? What's the card number on the back of the card? We compile all this data together. We ask about, down the road, more and more complex questions or more detailed questions. All of those things come into our system, and we're able to get a portion of the data. In-house, we have teams of people that have been working around the clock for months doing the investigation of where did these products actually come from, who's the manufacturer, what year was it made. Sometimes it's printed on the card, sometimes it's not. We want to know what the manufacturer actually called that product, not what someone chose to describe it as, but what's on the sell sheet, what's on the actual product. If someone has the product and they see something written on it and they want to know about it, and they're going to type in what's visible on the item. They're not going to remember what someone happened to put in a checklist that may or may not be accurate. What they're going to see is what's on the item. So we're going to make sure we've done all that research to find out what was on the manufacturer's sell sheet for vintage items, what was on the wrapper, what was on the box. We have teams collecting all that data to make sure that we have the most accurate data possible. So in-house, we're doing the work that needs investigation and documentation, and then the stuff that's easy to collect, we have thousands of customers contributing to that effort. Now the price suggestions. Now, this is really what they are. They're suggestions for how you might want to price an item. Our goals, it's optimized for initiating an offer. It's not an average of what things sell for. An average of what things sell for would be a horrible thing. Even the max that they sell for, not a good guide. What you want is something that's not too high to scare away buyers, and it's not too low that you're leaving money on the table. We want to make sure that the guide, the recommendation where you set your price is most likely going to get the ball rolling. Sometimes people will just go ahead and take it at that price, but we want you to have some room so you can accept an offer. If we're promoting the item on other websites and they need to get an affiliate kickback or something like that, there's some margin that we can use to pass that along to attract more people to the site. There's going to be a built-in confidence rating. So some items we have more data than others. If we only have a little bit of data, if an item hasn't sold in a year, but it used to be selling at a certain price and nobody's changed their prices since then, but it hasn't sold, we're not very confident that that's actually a good suggested price. If something sells every day, we can tell you with high confidence, this is the rate that it should sell for. Also, the prices need to automatically change to reflect the current market. It needs to be something that doesn't require constant manual intervention. It needs to be something that as sales come in, the price can change. And my goal is this year, as we get to the 9th inning of those no-hitters, you can actually watch the price rise. It's not something that you wait until even the next day or the next week or the next month to find out what the market is. You'll be able to see live how the market is changing. How is this possible? We weren't even building anything like this a couple months ago. How can we just all of a sudden do this? One thing that's incredible with our opportunity, first piece, we have the cleanest set of data that has ever been compiled in the sports card industry. Our data doesn't have to worry about sellers that have different ratings or the time of day that something is listed or the number of items that someone has and how much shipping had to factor into someone's bid or all the other factors that make things not equal, that they're not described consistently, they're not accurate. We have the most accurate data and we have knowledge of a consistent selling experience. We know exactly what was paid for shipping on an item. We know exactly what a buyer had to pay in order to get that product in hand. And we have millions and millions of records of confirmed sales. Not someone shill bidding and this wasn't a real thing. We shipped an item to a buyer, someone who's different from the seller. We know that this is a real sale. We also have the technical expertise. I mentioned a little bit of my background. My development team has 50 years combined experience at Microsoft. We're in Seattle. It's easy for me to get Microsofties that want to come do something fun and exciting. We also have the industry knowledge. I wouldn't be surprised if our company actually employs more sports card enthusiasts than every company on the planet. We have tons, we have centuries upon centuries of experience. People like Jeff, who's had a card shop, and Sam, who's had a card shop, and Steve, who was at the first National in Anaheim. We have so many people that have done online sales, so many avid collectors. We actually have one of our employees got 3rd place in the World Championship for Pokemon this year. Like, we have tons. We have, and like for gaming and stuff, we probably have more people than we do for sports cards. So we have the experience to be able to tackle these challenges. So I want to show you an example here of, oh, that looks really exciting. All right, so I want to show you an example. This works a little better. There we go. Of what we've generated from our price guide. The card you're going to see here is probably a card you've seen a lot of. It's a pretty common card. You have to pardon the screen. Hopefully the numbers show up. And that's what's really important here. All right, sample size on this particular card. We currently have 220 of these cards available for sale on the site. You might think, oh my goodness, 220, there's no point ever sending this card into COMC. They have way too many of this card. Turns out people have sent us 1,240. We have shipped 1,020 of this particular card. We sell it, we ship it to buyers on average once a day. We can come up with a solid suggested price for this particular item. This is what our suggestion is. We have the first suggested price we have here is what we call a suggested list price. This is the price that we believe is optimized for getting a sale or initiating the selling process on COMC. It's $2.55. We also have what we're calling a suggested retail price. This, we think, those of you that have a shop, you should be able to get a premium for an item that you have in hand. Although the price online may be lower, you have something that's better than next day shipping. You have instant gratification. You should be able to get a premium. We suggest $3.50 for this particular item. Now, if you have a bunch of these and you want to blow them out and you want to know how much money I can get really quickly, we have a suggested wholesale price. For that, this is 85 cents. If you want to sell it to someone who's intending to just turn around and flip the item, you can get about 85 cents for this item. You'll notice there's a margin in there, and the pace that we sell these, there's a lot of people that will go buy them at 85 cents and then sit on them on the website for maybe 6 months or a year and double their money. Our confidence on this is very high. We've sold this card over and over and over again. How soon can you get this data? Well, we have a hard and fast deadline. By March 31st, we will be replacing the data on our website with the new catalog that we're creating. 90% is a very aggressive schedule for the basic information. We'll continue to add more, but we're probably going to have to sacrifice some things like football. It's out of season, so maybe in April we won't have things like the players. You'll be able to see in the picture who the item is, but there's going to be a little bit of bumps as we transition the data. Then we're also going to have a suggested list price for the top 10% of the items that are most commonly sold. Fortunately, because it's the most commonly sold items, that may represent 30 to 40% of the items that people typically send to us. If we don't have a suggested list price, we'll make it easy for you to see what the current market is on the site, so you can price your items according to what other people are asking. In the May-June timeframe, We're going to have a lot more advanced data. We're going to have people playing more challenges, contributing more data to the site. We're going to have richer data that we can actually use to help extrapolate prices to things that haven't sold as frequently, or maybe that we haven't sold at all yet. Our goal for the catalog and for the price suggestions is that by the end of the year, we have the most complete, most exhaustive, most accurate, and most relevant guide. Because of the efforts that our community is putting in, because of the data that we have been collecting for years now, this is possible. It's going to be a challenge, it's going to be hard, but we're committed to doing it because, frankly, it's required for our existence. If we don't have this, we don't exist. So we are replacing everything we've used in the past with stuff that we are creating in-house, and we're looking forward to ways that we can help provide this to the community in ways that you can find beneficial. How can you help? First off, come play the COMC Challenge. Contribute to what we're building. Tell your customers about this. Have them come contribute. Give us feedback about the price suggestions. Come by our booth, or as we start releasing this over the next couple of weeks, let us know. Let us know what stuff you think is not accurate, what stuff we can improve on. Tell us about any errors in the catalog, and you're going to find a bunch these next couple of months because we've been moving really fast to get our baseline data up there. But like I said, we're committed that by the end of the year this will be the most accurate. And tell us what you would like to have included in the catalog. I said this has to be designed for you. What kind of data is important? What are people coming into your shop asking for? What would it be really awesome if you could easily find? Someone mentioned a big hair collection. Maybe if people tagged items of all the players that had big hair, that you can tell me what you want. It's probably not that one, but let me know. We can make sure that we have challenges in place that help the community tag those items, or create tools that make collectors identify which items they want. So as our website continues to grow, people have a better and better shopping experience, and we can use that data also to see if there actually is a trend. If people are really collecting big hair players, we can charge a premium for that. So. Lastly, I want to mention what I talked about last year. We're hoping to have more of this ready for prime time this year, but as you know, for the last 3 months, our whole schedule's been completely shifted. So we are working on programs to partner with card shops, brick and mortars. We want to create an opportunity to help you guys be more profitable, more efficient. We want to create the best buying experience online with your help. We want people to be able to send stuff to us or receive stuff from us through your brick and mortars. You can come by, see a demo of the apps that we've built. If you're using our service in your brick and mortar, you'll love this service because we're going to help you get stuff to us more easily. With that, if I have time, we're wrapping up.
One question.
One question. Yes.
Since you started the food processing systems, are you looking at maybe going back to adding anything else, or are you going to stick with the 1 week or 2 month process?
Great question. Because of the immense additional amount of work that we've had to do, we had to trim back the number of different options we had for people to consign stuff with us. So right now, we only have 2 simple options for ways that people can send items to us. As we get caught up with the catalog efforts and the guide, we will look at adding some additional popular services back, but we just simply needed to focus our efforts in the short term. So we're probably looking maybe in the summer time frame where we'll be adding back possibly things like our 1 week service. So yeah, any other questions? Feel free to come by and ask us at the booth. We love to help you out. We love partnering with you.